You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11. Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
And welcome to the ARCA Sparks Racing Series. Tonight we're revving up at Kansas Speedway. This is where the speed and skill collide, and tonight, week 3, the battle's going to intensify here for us tonight. Who's going to be able to grab that top spot? Who's got what it takes to dominate these high banks and claim victory? Joined in the booth by none other than James Watson. James is going to be driving again this week for us. James, talk to us. How's it going, bud?
Oh, going all right. We're going to be in for a good show tonight. Kansas rarely fails to put on a fantastic racing product. We're going to see a multitude of lines being used tonight. Some are going to be wrapping the white line down the inside. Some are going to be wrapping that big white line up there at the top. So it all depends on who can master their line the best.
Well, I can't wait to get it done. Can't wait to see how it's done. Location out here, Kansas City, Kansas. Track length 1.5 miles or 2.41 kilometers. Race length 120 laps. Speed road on pit speed on speed road. Speed limit on pit road is going to be 45 miles an hour, 72 kilometers. We've got 75% fuel. 3 sets of tires behind the wall on a fixed setup. This also brought to you by Inside Lane Productions. Taking a look here and seeing what we got going on. About 3 seconds left in this thing here before we actually start to kick off qualifying. Let's take a look and see what our standings bring us. Matty Raymond right now tucked on that number 1 spot. He's got Vincent Crow behind him in second. Chris Severa, who's not with us tonight, in third. Maddie Cisna in fourth. 5th place shows Paul Osen. 6th place Jeff Engler. 7th place Kenny Howell. James Watson is in 8th with Greg Watinsky, 9th, and Tristan Kosh rounds out the top 10 there in the ARCA Sparks point standings. First car's out, actually getting ready to take the way. Yeah, several cars actually making their way onto the race surface for qualifying. Qualifying is going to be the best of 2 laps, not including the out lap. Looks like on a 14-car field here. It's going to make it nice and tight and cozy. Kansas is one of those races that should allow us to keep the field pretty tight.
Yeah, I imagine the draft will play a pretty big part in tonight's events. Probably not as big of a part as we saw at Fontana a couple weeks ago, but we're definitely going to be packed up pretty heavily.
Indeed. Indeed. Still waiting on those first lap times to come in, and guess what? The first one does. None other than James Watson. No one's surprised there. We're waiting on these second laps to roll in. Probably going to be a little bit faster on the second laps around. Man, it's going to be an awesome race here tonight. Looks like we're sitting in Kansas City. 78 degrees all around, both in the seats and on the track. Winds like literally barely blowing out of the north at 2 miles an hour, partly cloudy skies. James Watson back in now. See if this lap holds. He's up with a 29.902.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if it does.
Oh, yeah, little faith.
Yep, there's Ryan Barber going a 10th faster. Matty Raymond out of turn 4, about to finish his second lap. Wow, only 7th or 6th so far.
All All right, looks like we got 10 cars actually put down successful laps thus far, giving us pretty good idea how this thing's going to shake out tonight. Of course, Ryan Barber, like you said, putting up the fastest lap time thus far. James Watson still sitting in there in second. Think that might actually hold. I'm only seeing 2 more cars that could actually beat it. Greg Wychinski, one of those cars now. Was that a throwback to Tony the Tiger?
That
Kellogg's
is.
Frosted They're great.
And so is that paint.
I love it, man. That is an awesome paint scheme there, man. Big shout out to Greg for rocking old Tony the Tiger for us. Not sure if he's going to be fast enough to get old Tony a good view, but we'll see how it shakes out.
And he jumps up to P4.
All right. That's going to slow it down there. Looks like the majority of our cars have qualified. With that, we're going to take a step away, get a word from our sponsor or two. We'll be back with the lineup and the start of tonight's race. And we are back. Like I said, promise you our lineup here, getting ready to get things kicked off. Cars are actually starting to make their ways to the pit road. Drivers are actually starting to get suited up. Here's your lineup. Ryan Barber on the pole in the 05 with a 29.788. To his outside will be Ruben Phelps. He has a 29.864. Second row is going to bring you James Watson in the 999 with Greg Wychinski. With Greg Wychinski along his outside. Then you're going to have Matty Sistner. He's going to have Jeff Engler on his outside in 6th. 7th place is going to go ahead and bring you Scott Schroeder with Sebastian Manchinen starting in 8th. And rounding out the top 10 can be none other than Matty Raymond and Ron Andrews.
And then you got Vincent Crow in 11th in the 00. Kenny Powell starting 12th in the 24. And rounding out the field, Paul Olson in the 45 and Derek Jacobs in the 27.
All right. Looks like the drivers have the con. Lights off on the pace car. He's going to be driving us around, run real short parade lap, and then we're going to be getting it on. And that 75% that we got in that fuel tank, we're going to see how long it takes us to burn that out. That's going to be the question tonight. Next question I got is what's going to be the strategy? Some guys undoubtedly are going to try to save. Some guys are going to spend. That's the way it works in most relationships. It's a give or take. In this case, one guy gives, one guy takes more. But don't you worry about it. We're going to bring you every lap and every second in between. Even got our own in-race commentator, James Watson, starting down there in the 3rd spot. Talk about having a bird's eye view. Hey, Kobe, maybe we could take off there and let James talk us through the start here tonight.
Alrighty. As for our getting up to the pace car, getting the last little checks and everything ready to go. Make sure that we're ready for the takeoff. And green means go. We're underway at Kansas.
Looks like everybody got the memo.
Yeah, it wasn't the best start for me. It shifted a little too early into third, but no worse for the wear here as we're already starting to single file out up here in the top three.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Everybody got the memo except for James Watson, as he's being poked along a little bit by Matty Cisna. Watson now actually recovered. He has got it pointed the right direction, making it loud when it should be. He's going to be pulling up, trying to secure his third place position, but behind him, the story changes. Side by side we go. Outside for the top three. No one else is happy where they are. Greg Wachinski now will be driving a little bit to the high side out of the scene. Watson comes in. The six-car system not actually able to get up. To be watching out for cars making contact with the wall also. As here we come around the start-finish line. 3 laps into this thing now, folks. Still not completely situated towards the rear. James Watson makes a deep dive, trying to move himself up into what would be second place. Actually challenging Ruben Phelps. He's right there at the bumper. Phelps has enough to get it done. Watson not going to give up yet, as he's still going to be tucked right down there. You got Wachinski now pulling up to the outer side of Watson. He's going to be right there. He's at the bumper. Now Wachinski coming along the high side. So just like that, the hunter becomes the hunted. Watson, being aggressive, actually going for P2 now, finds himself in a fight for third spot.
Now, this is what you're going to see for pretty much the entirety of the race. Even though Kansas is famous for everyone always wanting to run the top, I'm always a bottom feeder here. To me, I always save tire a lot better running the bottom than going up to the top. I feel the moment I go up and start running the wall is when my tires incinerate. So you're pretty much going to see me run the bottom the entire race. And, you know, if I lose a couple spots in the process, so be it. Because to me, I'd be losing a lot more spots if I really tried to run the high line, especially at least early in the run. Towards the closing laps of the run or the race, you'll probably see me have to do what I gotta do to get positions, but for the most part, as we're taking laps off, I'm gonna be down here trying to save as much tire as I can.
Absolutely, that seems to be the page also that Scott Schroeder is actually taking, as he also is on that low line after getting a little cozy with the wall there a couple of laps back. Greg Wachinski still high up top, not actually able to make a move. These two side by side still. That's allowing our leader, Ryan Barber, to just, stretch his legs just a little bit. As Watson now losing 3 spots on the deal. He's going to go back from 3rd to 5th.
Oh, Wachinski and Phelps got a little close coming out of turn 4.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have that on one of those Phelps and Wachinski deals. That's like a sandwich made on soggy bread right there. Man, green flag racing continues here. This is getting exactly what we expected. No need to be too pushy. Drivers just kind of taking it easy. Enjoying the run right now. 4th week here going into the standings. And I don't know if the points have been kind of where you would expect them to be. Maybe some people would say, yeah, that's kind of what I expected. I don't know yet. It's still too early for me to tell. There's still some names that are up there in different positions that I'm not sure about. I want to see how this thing shakes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's wild to me seeing Chris Severa still so high up in the points despite missing last week, missing tonight, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make any further races, so that's definitely going to be a massive shakeup in and of itself.
Well, that's definitely going to free up some positions there for maybe our other guys that live across the pond. Because Chris was definitely a contender. He was a championship contender here. You know, unfortunately, due to his scheduling conflicts, not going to be able to continue on with us. But, you know, who knows, man? Maybe we'll see him out here a couple more times. Who knows?
Exactly.
Now James Watson has Matty Cisna going to be trying to sneak by.
Yeah, definitely seeing aggression still continuing to ramp up. It's a lot easier to do that too because these runs aren't going to be super long with the lower fuel tank. So you don't have to worry about stretching the tires as long because the fuel just isn't going to last. Yeah.
Yep. That's a good point. So definitely looks like fuel strategy is going to be the one that drives the bank tonight. But like you said, not even a lot you can do to save. 75 is 75. You know, it is what it is. There's no gimmies in there.
Yeah, and if it was going to be much longer runs, you would definitely see me going a heck of a lot slower. So I'm just doing kind of a little bit tire save to just kind of stretch it. Because I know if I... Go on, Big Al.
What I was going to say is when I said that 75% fuel is not the same, the tank has a capacity to hold 100% of fuel. But we all know that you can get 100.9% of fuel in the tank. Do you agree? So drivers are going to try to shove as much in there as they can. You know, that's the fuel, but you can't do it with 75. 75. You don't get 75.1, 75.2. So it's truly what it is. And like you said, that means the tires aren't going to last, so they're not going to be a factor. A different strategy.
Yeah, so with that, you're really just kind of down on how hard you want to push, because the strategy-wise on when we can pit, it's pretty straightforward. Fuel window is about 33 to 35 laps, so more than likely we're all going to be cutting it up into quarters. So I imagine the bulk will be pitting on lap 30, lap 31.
Yeah, and then here comes the opportunity for some guys to actually maybe stay out just a little bit longer to maybe push it to 35, and that'll actually offset the pit cycles also, especially if we don't receive an early onset of cautions.
Oh, I think a few cars went and hit the wall off of turn 4. Or turn 2, rather.
Yep, got a little bit of a biker pack towards the rear of this thing. A little side-by-side action. Kenny Powell, he's going to be rubbing it up, snoozing with Ryan Andrews. These two side-by-side. Further up, we got you, Mr. Cisna, and Matty Raymond mixing it up. And I'm just sitting here just kind of watching everything, kind of see how it shakes out. Thank you guys for joining us here this evening, no matter where you're from, if you're near, far.
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are. Let us know.
It's pretty big battle of the Matties there. I didn't even know that was going on behind me.
Yeah, I got a couple of Matties mixing it up with a James. And that, like I said, that's really the story. But look,
Oh,
further
race
up
leader
to
in the wall.
front,
Oh, this is gonna
side
be.
by side,
Oh,
Greg
this-
Wyszynski actually finds himself in a little bit of a situation there with Ruben Phelps and our leader. Barber now going to drop all the way back to third spot. And simultaneously, you'll see when Barber hit the wall, Wyszynski was kind of mixing it up a little bit there with Phelps. And that's allowed Greg Wyszynski to get out to a driving lead, but behind him, three wide battle. James Watson caught up in that battle as well. That 5 car's going to come down.
We got a car there's going to be a big one.
He's going to keep.
Oh, no.
Contact. That's going to be out the caution. Wow, Powell out of nowhere. That is going to destroy his day. Wow, just a lot going on there, man. You had the 0-0 of Vincent Crow. Crow comes all the way from the front to the back as he gets in a little bit of contact here. You'll see it. He's right down the inside of Watson, goes up, tries to claim a spot, comes back down a little bit too far there, gets into it with the 6. Now gets straightened out just for a little bit of time, and then there goes the 24 to Powell.
Yeah, Phelps still trying to gather it up, and poor Kenny just nowhere to go.
He done got Kenny'd.
He went pow right into the rear of that 06.
Pow. That's right. That's exactly how it sounded. And like I said, unfortunate for Kenny, because Kenny actually really did need to do well. I mean, he's needed to do well all the time, and it seems like for whatever reason it's a DNF. I wonder if he graduated high school. But anyway.
Man.
I'm just asking. I mean, that kind of luck. So this is going to shake things up a little bit, James, as we are definitely 10 laps out of that window of where we thought we would actually be coming down. You know, so now seems like for the most part everybody came down, took fuel and tires. The only exception that I can see to that is look like Scott Schroeder, who spent 8.6 seconds in the box, might have only took one or the other. And I'm assuming that he took fuel.
Yeah, or maybe 4 tires. It's definitely an interesting strategy from Scott.
Well, he made a decision, and that's going to definitely impact the outcome of his race. Now, just for us to see exactly how it does impact his race. That's why they call them strategies, though. That caution probably came a little bit sooner than I was expecting. It is going to put 2 of our drivers behind the wall. Unfortunately, looks like Ruben Phelps and Kenny Powell both had a little bit too much to continue. Doubling them up again. Lights off on the pace car. Time for us to get ready to get back at it. James, that first little stint, man, how you feeling about it? Even though you were robbed of green flag, we all were robbed of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, the car was honestly handling a lot better than I was expecting. Like, it really didn't feel like the tires had fallen off much, if at all. So, yeah, it definitely gives me some things to think about in the later run as far as how hard I can actually push it then.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of drivers probably going to be facing some tire decisions because, you know, that 10 laps might not seem like a lot up front, but it is going to add up to be a lot here in the end because it could potentially be 10 to 12 laps that these guys actually were not able to burn off. Pace car's down and away, getting ready to get this thing kicked off again. Ryan Barber, Scott Schroeder. Off we go. High side, wild side. Barber's off to a strong start. Really left the 74, kind of lacking 74, though, doing what he can. He's getting ready to bring it back in. And we're off. Whole nother set of circumstances. Oh, we got that 83. Matty Raymond, he's coming high around the outside. Feeling like a lucky dog. He's going to try to bring it together, trying to best the 74 into the turn. Love these runs, especially early on in the run. Awesome racing at 83 off in the win. Gone with the win. Greg Wachinski also trying to get some of that highline love. Here he is coming high around the outside as well on a 74. James Watson going to be down on the inside. Got a little bit of a pimple situation working there. Also got the 6 assistant. He's up top. That 74 car, worse for wears. He went from first to way back now. He's going to be slamming it with Ryan Andrews.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that Schroeder did not take tires, so Scott's going to be hoping that we get a yellow here in the closing laps. Because if we do, he's going to be in with a pretty good chance. Tire wear is going to matter, because we were definitely falling off time-wise as that first run went on.
Yeah, you know, and he is going to be able to push it just a little bit further out, but I think that team's intention is they'll be actually up a set of tires towards the end of this thing. Should there be a late race caution, he's just going to have to bite the bullet early on and just be conservative and suck it up. But there'll be definitely some rewards for him in the long run. Getting a run right there onto the back of James Watson. That's Sebastian Mansionen. He is on the move, trying to get himself up front. Sebastian started this thing all the way back in 8th place.
Oh, he's in the wall.
Yeah, then when that wall reaches out and grabs you, it says, hey, come here. And it pulls you back, way to the back. And that just what happened. All the momentum that Sebastian had garnered up, gone just like that. It left the building.
Yeah, it just reaches out and puts its arm around you like you're both at a Coldplay concert.
Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? You get that uncomfortable, like, feeling that somebody's behind you that's not your husband.
Topical humor.
This is caught up in this moment. I don't think that's Coldplay, though.
It's not.
It's still Coldplay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny that everybody knew about that.
Right? Meanwhile, Greg Wachinski looks up in his mirror and sees that it was all yellow. That is like a Coldplay song.
Yeah. Greg Wachinski just like that now. Having to deal with a true contender is James Watson himself is now right there on the inside. Now, he can't just give up because this battle's not just going to be between himself and the 999, but Ryan Andrews also sitting back, laying in wait. He is ready to pounce. Ryan, he was on a little bit of a roll there prior to that last caution. It really did kind of take him off the mark just a little bit. Seems those guys have recovered, got back on their feet, marching back up to the front, ring the bell.
Yeah, this caution really helped Ryan Barber. We saw him get the wall, which kind of is what caused that big stack up. And through that, he was able to get back to the lead and got a pretty decent gap over Matty Raymond behind.
Man.
I think System might have gotten the wall.
Hadn't said anything, but man, gonna give a huge shout out to the Derek Jacobs in the 27th car, having himself a banner tonight. He's hanging out there in 8th place there, kicking it with Paul Osen in 7th. Good to see it, good to see it. The 6th assistant is gonna get by you. Ryan Andrews also coming up hot.
Oh, System slides up a little bit.
Yep, nice little battle here. Heating up between the 6 and the 5. Greg Wachinski's going to come down now and try to take the lip of that draft off. 3 cars low, 1 car high. Sister's trying to get his run off now. Going to be trying to roll in that 5. Look for him to come down on the inside. Nope, still staying high. There he is now. Coming right up on that bumper of the 5 car. Still elected to stay high. That opened the door for Ryan Andrews. For James Watson. James Watson now got a run on the 6. He's been doing everything. The 6 car's going to be doing everything he can to catch the 5. 5 comes down now. 6 is up high. Doing some difficult math here. The 6 don't go into 5.
Not unless you carry the 3.
Well, we carried the 39. Definitely getting heated up here. Just right here in this at this time of the race, it's kind of awesome. 37 laps here. That's about halfway through the new set of tires. Watching my buddy Scott Schroeder because he is falling way, way back. Now that'll show you what the difference between tires and no tires is. No, the 00's will be slow there on the backstretch. Don't know what's going on there. Don't see a caution. He is still moving, but he's going to have to pick up the pace quite a bit because if he is not moving faster than that by the time the leaders come around. You see him right here. Gets a little loose. Telling kicks out on him. Goes sideways.
Wow,
Slides right down there. Look, flirting with disaster. That's the name of that right there. Because where he's at, that could have been a caution. And I'm going to tell you who needed that the most, Schroeder. Schroeder could have definitely benefited from that, but now his challenge is going to be to stay on the lead lap. That's going to be the cue.
Yeah, I'm surprised that wasn't a caution because he was still partially on the racetrack when he was spinning, and Schroeder was close enough that you think it would have triggered one.
Well, it triggered something in Schroeder, I guarantee you that. Seeing that happen all the way back there like that, really having it out of your hands, you're just trying to hope that the guy slides by so you can slide on. Back up front, though, battling continues. Still got those 3 cars flirting with disaster up front. That's the 39 of you. That's the 5 of him. And that's the 37 of the other guy. Or the 75.
Yeah, we got Ryan Andrews joining the fray.
Ryan Andrews, Greg Wachinski, James Watson. That right there it is. Now you're getting a look at this from yet another car, which is going to be the 6 of Cessna. So this is going to be where the next event occurs right here. Riding with you, James.
Oop, that's the wall.
Oh, there it is. Greg Wachinski comes down, gets into Ryan Andrews. Andrews pulling is still no yellow flag. Wachinski done. That dog's not going to hunt. Tony is not great right now, I guarantee you. He's going to be trying to limp that thing back around, hoping that he stays out of the way to prevent a caution from coming out. But here it is, exactly what happened. Watson gets into the wall. Wachinski comes in hot. He comes down. Ryan Andrews nowhere to go. Andrews, though, surprisingly, makes it through unscathed. As well as Watson lives the race another day. I believe that's going to do it for Greg Wachinski.
Yeah, went for the slide job and got it completed, but it just kind of tightened up on the exit and just couldn't keep it out of the wall. And unfortunately, Greg had absolutely nowhere to go right behind.
Yeah, unfortunately, indeed. Well, you just freed up his Saturday night.
Yeah.
Green flag races still continuing watching the board. 22s across the board. Watching my buddy Schroeder. Now, he's not as struggling as bad as he was because he has now caught the 75 of Andrews. These two are going to be able to limp around together. At least maintain some semblance of a race pace. Now, the 00, unfortunately, he's going to be running for his life. Vincent Crow's going to be trying everything he can to stay on that lead lap. Can definitely tell that they're being, I don't know. I want to say it, but I can't say it. You know, it's a word, but people will get offended. So I'm going to just leave it alone and say stingy. Hate having to use little words when I just, got big words out there I want to say, like niggardly. That's the word. Being very stingy with cautions here tonight. It's not making it positive for drivers that are still out there trying to get through on their strategy. We've had one caution, but at least 3 good opportunities for a caution that have occurred here.
Yeah, and it's really surprising that some of these haven't been cautions. Like, some of these absolutely should have been, like Crow's spin, Greg's incident.
We've seen cautions for way less. That's kind of what I'm getting at. So drivers are not going to get any reprieve if they're expecting it from the yellow flag.
Yeah.
Got a bundle of Fords here tied up together, all making their way. We're leading that Michelob Ultra, that 45 car, Paul Olsen. I bet he feels real spirity now, He's got all these Fords in front of him with these men, and then he's got an Ultra. I'm sorry, I love you, Paul. Paulo's a personal friend of mine, just a little. When he watches this, maybe he'll chuckle. James still making it around. How's it feeling now, James? I mean, you're getting up here now to about where you were the last time when we were in this situation with tires, okay? This is about 30 laps.
This is in the wall.
Into the wall. I guess that answers the question. Because about 30 laps into the stint last time is about when the wheels fell off of this machine. And that, looking at Maddie drag around like that, I'm starting to think that's exactly what occurred. So do you think you guys are going to push this thing to 35, or you think most guys are going to be like really coming in quick to the 30?
Yeah, I think so. With not having a whole lot of extra laps to go over when you really want to pit when the pit window opens, you're going to definitely see guys lean towards the undercut a lot more, because staying out an extra 5 laps or so, that's not really going to help. That's not really going to make the overcut really kick in and work properly. For the overcut to work, you would need about, like, at the least 8 laps pitting after your competition pits. So I definitely think we're going to see a lot of guys bring it in, like, right at that 30 lap mark.
But are you telling us that you're coming in here? Are you signaling to us that green flag pit stops are about to start?
I'm still not dead set on when I'm going to come in. I'm definitely
on 31. You're on 31 right now.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, I might. I'm definitely starting to feel the tires wear. It's driving a lot better than I expected, because it told me I got wheel damage after I got the wall and ended up killing Greg. So Greg, if you're watching, I'm sorry about that.
Well, you're still handling pretty good for wheel damage. I'm telling you, though, watching this thing right now, the 74 has got to be feeling in pretty good shots and great spirits. Matty Raymond in the 83 leading this thing now. The 74, just like I said, he is bringing it down pit road. He stayed out for as long as he cared. And now he's going to be getting 4 good years. And I'm going to tell you what, he's got another set stacked behind the wall. I think he's going to be sitting pretty good here towards the end of this thing. Got a 27 car. Derek Jacobs, he'll be making his way down pit road. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it and say officially we have began green flag pit stops.
I think Barber got the wall.
It's about that time, too. Now that caution's coming, whether it's, you're coming down pit road, whether it's for caution or cause. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, either way, we're getting those pit stops soon.
Yep. Surprised, though, really impressed with you. 34 laps on this stint. That is definitely counting towards the order. So
yeah,
even James Watson made it out to 35.
Yeah, I'm keeping good pace with Matty Raymond, too, which is the important thing. Matty's definitely the car to beat right now. So if I can keep myself close, we'll see what happens.
Yep, now Schroeder's, he's making his way around the 27. Derek Jacobs did beat the 83 out on the cycle, so that means he did live to fight another day. Going to be watching to see how this plays, but intently now we're watching as the drivers are starting to come down. Going to be taking those green flag pit stops here momentarily. Is going to happen whether we want it to or not. Ready or not, here they come. How are they going to stack up? Is everybody going to make it in and out okay? Because you got all of these cars coming down, condensing this location at the same time. The longer they stay out, the less options they have about when they come down.
Yeah, and there isn't a whole lot of fuel left in these tanks. I will tell you that much.
Yeah, not only the fuel, but you got different cars that are in various states of disrepair. So since this caution right there, the 05, starting to come down, Ryan Barber be watching his speed, seeing if he actually got it down. But that's what.
Someone's around. I think that's Engler.
That's right. That is Jeff Engler in the 25 car, and that's what we say. You pit for dough, you drive for show, but this is where you're gonna make or lose your money. You see Engler coming right here, could not get it stopped quite fast enough. Actually he saw Ron Andrews like right in front of him. It wasn't Ron Andrews, but the 6, Matty's sister, taking a long way around down pit road. Halfway through this thing, and we're seeing exactly what I thought we were going to see going down on pit road. When I said these pit stops coming down consolidated, right? 2 cars almost making contact. Well, 1 car almost making contact. I think System might have got a little bit excited there, and he saw you and tried it to come down just a little bit later, maybe, than he would have wanted to make that move. Paul Olsen, your leader now. He's going to be coming down pit road here on next time by.
All right, well, good news. I didn't bottle the entry into my box this time.
You know what? I mean, we got one more, Paul Olsen. I think he is the last. Him and Sebastian Mansionen. These 2 guys have to come down. And then we'll say, okay, Sebastian's down now. Then we'll say, okay, we made it through the first run of green flag pit stops. But you know what? They were anything but uneventful. Green flag pit stops, crazy at best here. A lot of drivers going to mix it up in the standings because they did bad stuff going in. Some guys like yourself had to get damage repaired. If you got that tire damage, you got to get it fixed. Looking back at the pit times, everybody seems to be close. Some guys were better.
I can tell you I did not get my damage fixed. We're just going to roll with it.
Hey, understand that too. I mean, seconds matter. I'm going to give you the idea of pit stops. Matty Raymond, who is currently where? He's in first place. Do you know why he's in first place? Because he had the fastest pit stop at 13.8 seconds. Next to him was 14.2 seconds, and that's going to be James Watson. That's right, the man, the myth, the legend right there in third place. There's a 14.3, and everybody else is 5 or greater. So, lots of things going down there on pit road. Penalty effect in the order. Going to be watching to see how this plays out for the second iteration. Right now, we're going to take a word. We're going to take a step away, get a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
And we are back right here with continued coverage of the night's ARCA Sparks race here at Kansas Motor Speedway. Still getting it done, watching the lead. You were watching us with the picture-in-picture. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, follow us. We need all the help we can get here. Lord, Big Al's on the cancel program. I'm losing more sponsors than weight, and I'm on the don't eat diet. Matty Raymond still showing his way around, showing us around. Ryan Barber feeling pretty good there. You know, started this thing off on the pole that and now he is just tucked there comfortably in second place, kind of taking it easy, James. Is that the name of the game right now? Is it just hit your marks, you know, just focus? What are you watching, a relative? I mean, where you at in this point of the race?
I'm watching the relative, seeing how far I'm off of everyone. I pitted a lap after these two, so I lost a good amount of time with them taking the undercut, but so far, even with the damage, still having some pretty good pace here. Starting to inch myself a little bit closer to them, so we'll see how it ends up. We're not too super far away from everyone looking to make that final stop of the race. Well, everyone other than Scott Schroeder with his extra set of tires that could be potentially used here.
Well, you know, I'm watching this thing, and because Scott actually pitted off sequence with you guys, he's still off sequence with you guys by some 5 laps in most cases, 6 laps in some. But the question is going to be, how's that going to affect him towards this? I mean, he's going to ultimately have to come in prior to you guys, is what I would imagine, in order to make it to the end of this thing. Yes, he's absolutely going to have to come in prior to you guys to make it to the end of this thing. Question is going to be, with 41 laps to go, once Scott comes down, how many hands is he going to force? That's going to be the direct question.
I think it's going to be... I think he's going to be a bit earlier than what most would feel comfortable with. So I don't think that would change people's strategies too much.
Yeah, I started to see it now. Schroeder right now currently 36 laps on his equipment. He could possibly go max 10 more. You know, that would put it 30 to go, but still at the end of that, he is just trying to catch back up with you guys. So, yeah, I think Schroeder, barring some last-minute caution there, you know, he's the underdog. Caution comes out as a result of green flag pit stops, Schroeder's the king. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll be watching how that plays out. With everybody else, they're going to have to get down clean. That's going to be the deal. We saw a lot of guys. When I say a lot, I mean more than 2. All right, 2's a couple, 3's a few. All right, but I'm a commentator, so I have to exaggerate. So 3 becomes a lot, especially in the field of 11, okay? So when you have 3 guys that bobble it on the entrance of the pit road, that kind of says, all right, we have something to look forward to here. It's not going to be as clean and cut as we thought. It's not going to be as cut and dry.
Yeah, and knock on wood is especially an issue for me too, because I tend to run a much lower brake bias because I naturally trail brake a lot, so having all that brake bias to the rear helps me kind of break the car loose. So it definitely makes pit entry interesting, because with how these ARCA cars are, you can only move the brake bias forward 3%, so it's still really far to the back, so I always got to be super duper careful on my pit entries. That's what caught me out last week with going into my box. Was I just turning into my box itself, I just got a little too hard on the brakes and just locked up the rear ever so slightly, which put me offline and close to the pit wall, making me have to re-parallel park it. So I imagine that's also a similar issue for everyone, and I think that's why we saw all those spins on pit entry, because of lower brake bias and just trying to carry too much speed onto pit road and just looping it.
Absolutely. 74 car now, Schroeder, he's be coming down. Derek Jacobs won't take too long to follow. These two guys out of sequence, 35 laps to go. Schroeder's going to be struggling to make it towards the end of this thing. Fuel's not going to be his only concern. Jacobs will be coming in on this lap as he is in the same Super Bowl as Schroeder. Here we go, watching it. 25 car, sorry. He's down pit road now, making what will be his final pit stops. That's Jeff Engler. Jeff kind of chopped it up on that last pit stop, so I think he wanted to come on down now without the pressure, without having to worry about running in, because you remember he was encroaching quickly into the back of, I believe, the 5-car Ryan Barber, had to lock it up, ultimately ended up going sideways. Could have been the 6 of Phelps.
Yeah, and that's why I always try to come on a lap where I'm not going to have to worry about many cars coming with me.
Yeah,
what was the reaction for Big Al?
Well, that reaction was for... no, it was the car behind the 00 there. The car that's low there that's coming up on Engler. He just hit that apron and kind of took a little drift ride, and honestly, I thought he was going all the way around. So that was the whoop. Jeff Engler with the black flag. That is not going to do him any good. Here he comes right now. To be following that 27. As a matter of fact, 27 car was where my oops came from. I think Derek Jacobs might have been trying to come down, had a little bit too much speed, so had to take another trip around. But that was the car that I was looking at. Now, Engler also down. He is having to, unfortunately got a black flag. That's going to pretty much remove any chance he would have had of taking this thing home and erase it from the board.
A little bit of a battle for the lead brewing here.
Are you going to be in that battle, James?
Might be.
Well, that's right. That battle for the lead is going to come from none other than James Watson and Matty Raymond. Matty Raymond in the 83 car. Watson, our driving commentator. Watson now, like he said, watching a relative. In this case now, he's watching the 83 intently. Both of these drivers, though, over 30 laps on the stunt. So they're going to be coming down pit road here momentarily. So James, do you risk it and try to make the pass this late? Are you always racing until you're pitting? Well, I mean, what are you doing? What's the strategy?
Honestly, with that, I'm not sure. I just kind of waiting and seeing. I'm still trying to figure out the exact lap I want to pit here. The fuel mileage is better than I expected, so just trying to click off a few more laps to avoid possibility of an overcut.
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, everything working just fine. We are within the pit window. 00 car. He is down on pit road right now to 83 and to 5, all coming down. Matty Raymond. You got the 5 car of Ryan Barber. This will be their last pit stop. The last and final pit stop is going on right now. This is the pit window. 26 laps to go. Watch it intently. The 75 cars down. He's coming down the road. The 99. He's going to continue around. Nope, he's coming down. Watch it intently now to see what the 40 does. Sebastian Mansion is going to continue. The 45 of Paul Olsen is going to continue. The 6 of Matty System will continue. So definitely different strategies now starting to shake out. Indeed, we're starting to see different ideas, different ideologies, different pit strategies. Hey, you know, the logic is definitely now being implied. Drivers understanding their task at hand. Now the 40 car Sebastian Mansion's coming down.
Oh, and he looped it.
Missed it. There's the one. There's the one right there that we were looking for. It's the law of averages. Now we got the 6 car. He's coming down. This is Matty Cisna. Look, as long as I got my one, I'm good. Now green flag racing continues. Yeah, Paul Olsen, Sebastian Mansion, and Matty Cisna still left to complete their stops. Olsen, your leader. Don't know just how much fun he's having out there right now. 36 laps on his equipment for this pit run. But way to go, Paul. Picks up those bonus points for leading. Gets his name on top of the leaderboard. Gets a shout out. And now he gets 4 tires and a chance. I like that. 4 tires and a shout out.
I like it too.
You know, if I would have quoted myself my whole life, I would have a pretty neat little book. But I've said so many cool things that I've forgotten. You know, it's just, I hate it.
Suffering from success.
And I always said, I'm not going to quote me. I say that all the time. I won't quote me. Or, I'm not writing a book. If you want it, you better come and get it. Because when I leave, I'm taking it with me. Now I'm thinking I might have to write a book. You know who else is writing a book? Matty Raymond. And the title of his book is How to Survive 22 Laps at Kansas. And he's going to be the only one who's going to determine if that's a bestseller or a flop. Okay? Because if he misses it, if he whoops it, if he bops it, it goes to the worst place, nobody's buying the book, right? But if he can hold off here and get this thing done, that, my friend, in itself will be a great story for Matty Raymond. Matty Raymond, I don't remember. When's the last time we've seen Matty Raymond in the winner's circle here in the ARCA Sparks Series?
Last week.
Dang it. You serious?
Yep.
I hate when I'm off like that. So good on Matty to keep that streak going, right? That's the story in itself. Now you can sell a book like that. You know, 2 wins in a row.
It'll be 3 if he holds on to this lead.
It'll be 3?
Yep.
He would have won 3 times. No wonder why he's the points leader. If
Yep.
only there were somebody that we knew that could stop him. You know what I mean? Like a caped hero. Draped in green and red. And yellow. I don't know what would we name him. I would call him Watson.
Oh, Matty Raymond almost got the wall off of turn 4.
Wait, we have a Watson. James, it is you. You're the chosen one. James Watson now coming alongside the 83. This is epic. Right now, the 83 is on a 2-week win streak. James Watson, the only car in position that could actually break that up right now. Is the pressure going to do too much? We're watching now with just 17 laps to go. This pass is crucial. Side by side they go into the turn. The 83 of Matty Raymond, he is still to the high side. Watson's low. Watson closes the distance. It's up a little high. Watson now diving to the low side. Look at how he expertly puts that car right down there on the apron. Going to get the drive off coming down the backstretch. Across the start-finish line. Still not enough. But I'm thinking, could this be the lap? Could this be the lap that our fearless commentator slays the 2-week winner? Ladies and gentlemen, only one way to find out. We got to keep riding along. Not going to get it done. Not just yet. Come on, James. We're rooting for you.
Yeah, Matty is making that outside line work really well.
Don't worry about James. Oh, James getting a slight advantage here. Here it is. Got the nose out in front. Will he have enough? Closes the door on Matty Raymond. Raymond's going to go down on the inside. Saw this not in so well last time for the last guy that tried it. We're going to try it one more time. Now James is high watching him. Here he comes. He's going to dive down to the inside right now. The bottom feeder himself. He has got the 83 right where he wants him. Goes breaking low. The line that James loves so much. He's getting it done right there. Pushing the 83 to the outside. 83 trying to run off. Not going to have enough to get it done. This is James' position to defend right here. Still holding it low to the inside. Nose to nose they go. Coming across the start-finish line right here. Had the race ended right there, it would have been Matty Raymond. James can't let that happen again. He was running out of opportunities to get his name up on top. Just 13 more tries. Ryan Barber standing back, just waiting in the wings, wanting to make and perpetuate his move because he knows, too, that he is also running out of time. Watson goes low once again, down on the inside, the 83. Matty Raymond holding this line, now coming down, not even enough room to get the crossover. He is forced to stay to the high side, could not make the low move over. Here he is now. He's going to find himself in a situation where he's going to be forced high. Watson comes up, teases closing the door, leaves it open though, just to push him. Squeeze him just a little bit to the wall. Watson now diving down to the inside. That's going to leave the door open for the 0-5. It might not seem like it right now, but Watson, huge accomplishment right there on that last run. He's kind of getting in the position that he wants to be in. He's causing Matty Raymond to have to go higher and higher around the outside. But you know what? You can pass me, but you're going to have to pass me on the outside. 10 laps to go, and that is the message that Watson is sending to Raymond. Here it is again.
He's able to carry so much momentum on the outside. Really difficult. if
yeah,
I can just get to where I can clear him and put a little bit of gap, then I think I'll be in good shape. But he's just making that outside work so well.
Well, that's what Matty Raymond does. He makes you work for it. James, you're a champion too. You just do what you do, buddy. You close the gaps, I'll tell the story. Matty Raymond pulling up high now. This could be worrisome for the 39 of Watson. Staying down on that bottom does come with its cost. One of those costs is going to be premature tire wear. It's always harder to keep it tight than it is to let it go. Now here comes the 25. He's going to throw his hat in the ring. Sorry, the 5. Now we're going to have a 3-wide battle for the lead here with 8 laps to go. Anybody's race. Man, we have not yet even cut the trees to print the paper to tell the story of what's happening here tonight. Don't even know where it's going to go. Still coming up in a 3-wide situation, potentially, as Watson and Raymond not going to settle. Neither one of these guys is yielding enough for the other to get the advantage, and the 5 is right there. Nope, there it is. Watson makes contact. Watson goes across the infield. He should be able to get into the racetrack. That is going to change the dynamic. Here comes the 5 of Ryan Barber. He now is taking the spot of Watson here as he's trying to give everything he can to the inside of Matty Raymond. Watson had one shot right there. He stuck it out as long as he could. He was on the inside. At the end, these two made contact. Watson was able to walk away. Still, James could pull off a podium here. But the bigger story right now is Matty Raymond, what 5 laps ago, has pretty much solidified his win. We're watching Ryan Barber. Will Barber actually have enough time to get back up and to mount a charge, to mount a counter? Will he be able to attack? This is the story that we got. This is the only story on the racetrack right now. The entire world is watching and waiting the impending results of what the 5 can do. If ever there were a time that a generation depended on an energy drink, it's tonight. I only get paid by Monster. But you got to love it, especially when it looks as good as Ryan Barber's making it. Look, he brought that thing here tonight. He put it on the pole. Matty Raymond was right there. In his mind, in his presence. Here we are now coming down through the end of this, and it seems like his nemesis he just can't seem to catch. And that's none other than Matty Raymond. Come to find out, this guy won last week and the week before. Wow. James, where you at?
Sitting in 3rd.
Okay, 3 to go. We got you, little buddy. Two laps to go now. Matty's just got to keep her going, keep doing what he's doing. He's had his hands full. Just not quite enough to get it done, though. Looks like he might actually be a 3-peat winner. That's going to be awesome. Not only going to boost his confidence, but it's definitely going to boost his stock as well as his standings in the points here in ARCA Sparks. He just took the white flag. That means once he comes back around here, we'll be grading him again on a celebration. Man, so many stories out there tonight, looking for places to unfold. But those stories will remain untold because the only story that we're telling tonight is going to be the story of the 83 of Matty Raymond as he three-peats in the ARCA Sparks Series in Season 2 and gets himself more situated atop of the throne of the one. Now, there's some drivers out there that can stop this guy, but they're going to have to step up quick because I'm telling you, the more this guy wins, the harder it's going to be to beat him. Wow, look at that. Such wisdom. Such wisdom. Gonna be waiting to watch Raymond burn it down here. See what kind of grade he's gonna get. Love the entry. Oh, the pirouette right across the cross checkers. And then yet another. Just some kind of eloquent design. Jewelry that your grandmother would wear. Adorned in pearls. Maddie Raymond, the world's hero. I gotta give it 100. I gotta give it 100, James. James?
Yep.
Your final thoughts?
Yeah, it was a really good race. Really good battle there at the end. You really wasn't sure where that was gonna go. That was an awesome show put on for the fans and us broadcasters.
Hey, you did a great job trying to stop this beast, trying to slay this dragon. 100% on the burnout, lands it perfectly at the base. Come collect the flag. We're going to take a step away. Let's run through the order real quick here. Then we'll take a step away, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to our three winners here. Maddie Raymond bringing it home. He is your winner here tonight. Ryan Barber coming to close here in second. Third place, James Watson. Fourth place, Scott Schroeder. Paul Olsen in fifth. Sebastian Mansion is going to be in sixth. Crowley in seventh. Ryan Andrews, eighth. Ninth place, Maddie Cisna. 10th place is going to be Jeff Engler. Derek Jacobs in 11th. Greg Wachinski, Ruben Phelps, and Kenny Powell round out the 14-car field. We're going to take a step away, get a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back with our post-race coverage. Thank you.
Got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
And we are back with our post-race show. I'm joined in the booth by none other than James Watson. James, I understand that this is going to be an emotional time for you, buddy. So, and as a commentator, I'm going to respect that, and I'm not going to push you, and I'm not going to ask you tough questions like, hey, how did you screw this up? I'm not going to say like, hey, James, you realize you probably just blew your chance at the championship, because that would be insensitive. So I'm going to say something like, hey, James, it was a tough race tonight. You came up a little bit short. What are the two things that you wish you could have changed about this evening?
I don't even know. It's really hard to say at this point. I don't even really know what even happened. All I know is that there was contact and I went spinning, so it was just unfortunate because even with the damage I had, I was still really quick and I was still running him down pretty quickly, and even after the contact I still ended up running them down too. So if I got a caution or something and could have gotten one more chance at it, I think I could have gotten it, but you know, is what it is, I guess.
I think that everything you just said kind of culminates the evening here. You know, a lack of cautions, tough racing, and just not able to close the gap. That was the story. We saw so many cars have so many great runs. You were battling side by side with Matty Raymond, and honestly, I thought you had him, but you just weren't actually able to just like kind of like you said, if you would have just kind of got in front of him, that would have been enough to give you the breathing room that you needed.
Yeah, if I could have just gotten clear for like a straightaway, I think I could have pulled away. That's what's frustrating about Kansas, is that the outside line is so powerful in passing. What also didn't help is I just couldn't, because I tried running it once and it didn't help at all. I'm just not good at running the outside myself. So if I was a little better at being able to run the outside, that would have helped definitely, instead of having to just rely on the inside. But yeah, what can you do, I guess?
Stated earlier that Kansas probably wasn't one of your best tracks, definitely not your favorite, and you know, you were there on the inside the entire time, almost painting the perfect line down on the inside. Unfortunately, it just wasn't able to work for you to get the drive off on the high side that you needed. But James, you know what? You're still in this thing. Plenty of racing left. Next week we go to Rockingham. I mean, how you feeling about that track? Short track, bigger chances, bigger rewards. What do you got?
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite tracks. It's one of my better ones, so hoping for a better result. You know, Kansas and Fontana are very much not down at the list of my better tracks, so to be in contention for the win in both races at two tracks, I don't particularly like running. It definitely fills me with hope. So now that we're going to a track that I do like quite a bit, you know, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens.
Well, all right, James, man, don't feel too bad. You started this thing third. You finished this thing third. No harm, no foul. Great performance. Solid effort, man. Who's shouting out here tonight for your third place finish overall?
I gotta thank everyone at Team Watson Racing Setups. Use code WATSPIN39 for 10% off at checkout. I gotta thank National Racing Network, Icon Sim Racing Apparel, Boomer Butt Boxes, ZS Designs, and Dizzy V Designs for putting together my paint schemes, and Binks Designs. If you're looking for some beautifully made wall art, go and check out binksdesigns.com. She makes amazing tapestry, so they'll definitely spice up your walls in your house.
Hey, awesomeness, brother. Appreciate you again for everything that you do. All right, now I'm going to close you out and then turn it back over to you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was James Watson, your third place finisher overall on Big Al. Now I'm going to throw it over to James Watson, who has our second place finisher, Ryan Barber.
All right, and James up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Matt, I got a copy.
All right, well, that was a fantastic race from you. You were in contention pretty much from the drop of the green, especially as pole sitter. So take us through, what was your strategy going into this race, trying to figure out when to pit, especially with that caution kind of throwing a wrench in everything?
Honestly, man, I just winged it. I woke up like an hour and a half ago with a message from Kobe saying that I should jump in, so I decided to jump in. And I only did like 10 practice laps and then obviously the qualifying, so I didn't really have any expectations in the race tonight. I was just gonna try and go with whatever Matty was going for. So I was just fortunate to keep some speed under the car, and yeah, I got lucky.
You were making that high line work fantastically tonight. Tell us about how difficult it really is to roll the top and keep it out of the wall here at Kansas.
Well, the top worked well for me tonight. I noticed, James, you were down the bottom. You made that work as well, but I found that I was just burning my front right way too much when I was down the bottom, so I kind of followed Matty up the top there. And it's not easy to run up there either. The wall's right there, so if you overdrive it up the top, you basically met some concrete. So you just got to find a balance between pushing too hard up there or like not pushing enough. So I found a good balance there. Matty was really good up the top as well. I couldn't really catch him when he was running the high line. Yeah, it worked out for me, worked out for him, and yeah, James, I'm glad you came on, finished on the podium, because that incident towards the end there was a bit hectic when we were racing.
Yeah, we saw you. You did get the wall a little bit off of two early in the race, and it caused a little bit of a stack up. Take us through what happened with that.
Well, I was a pole sitter, so I just wanted to try and extend the lead and run away, and I pushed a bit too hard at the start. Washed up towards the fence, and when you start washing up early, there's not much you can do to stay out of the wall, especially when you're ripping at about 300 kilometers an hour. So it's not easy to prevent that from happening if you get in that situation. But that was just a bit unfortunate and a pretty severe driver error for myself. But everyone kind of bunched up and started racing. Ruben was really unfortunate to get in an incident earlier on because of that. But at least I know for next time.
All right, well, that was an awesome run, Ryan. Any sponsors, plugs, and shouts you'd like to give?
Yeah, first of all, the only reason why I actually jumped in tonight is because my grandfather's in the hospital, so I'm racing for him 100%. So I'll 100% dedicate this podium to him. If I got the win, it would have been the same thing. So hopefully he recovers and gets well. He's pretty much the only thing that I cared about today, so I'm glad that I got where I was. I'd like to thank my team. Obviously I wasn't running the team sponsor, I don't have a library, so I'll just thank Mish's Excel Garage, RBI Trading Cards, 7-Eleven, Slacks Creek Car Bees, Sydney Pool Servicing, and then finally thanks to you guys, Kobe, for producing the broadcast, Big Al, and you, James, for commentating. And yeah, I'm looking forward to watch the race back after.
All right, well, we appreciate you, Ryan. Hopefully he gets better soon. I know he's actually a pretty big part of the Inside Lane Productions community, since you can always count on seeing his posts in the chat rooting you and your pops on. So from all of us, hopefully he is a speedy recovery, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Thanks, man. I'll definitely roll the Monster Energy Chevy out next week and give it another crack.
All right, and that's our second place finisher, Ryan Barber. And now here's Big Al with our race winner.
Big Al back. Thank you so much there, James. And hey, my heart goes out to you, Ryan. I hope everything works out well for your grandpa. Tell him that we're all rooting for him in a speedy recovery. Now, last but not certainly not least, Matty Raymond. Matty Raymond, Big Al up in the booth. You got me.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. How you going, mate?
Hey, man, I'm surprised you were actually able to find your way up here. It's been so long since we've actually spoke.
What's it been, a week?
Well, okay, so all right, yeah, I guess. Well, before that, it was a while.
Yeah, a little while, yeah. Nah, doing all right, eh?
Guess it was another week. So, this rumor tells it that this is 3 wins in a row for you out here tonight. How's that make you feel?
Yeah, pretty good. I don't know what I did to get that, but yeah, better to be lucky than good, I reckon, eh?
You tell me. I mean, so what does it feel like now to officially have a target painted on your back as that guy?
Not good. I won't have as many friends anymore, Big Al. I won't have you, mate.
Hey, it's coming, man. Look, Ruben's back on the show now. You might even look. I talked a little trash trying to pull people in here. I kind of painted you as Superman, seeing if somebody's going to step up and help save Gotham here. Who's going to stop the bad man from winning?
Yeah, no, we've had a good run lately, eh? It's just everything's sort of falling into place. Like I say, it's a bit of luck, bit of everything, really.
Yeah, definitely. It looks effortless, man, and you guys are doing it with class. That's a great thing about it. You come out here week in and week out, and at the end of this, there's really never any wobbling about people being upset with you. No one's out there saying 83. It just doesn't happen. So not only are you doing it efficiently, you're doing it clean, and you're making it look awesome. So, man, tell us, how was it getting ready for this week? Obviously, a little bit of a different setup than what we were doing last week, but you guys came out here, adapted. You rolled a fast car, super fast car off. I was watching you actually during practice. Didn't qualify the best, but you pulled it home here on the podium. And that's not what's saying. You battled the heck out of the 39. You guys were there locked side by side there for at least 4 or 5 laps there coming down the stretch. So, man, tell us all about your week and the finish of this thing.
No, you're dead right. To be honest, I wasn't too confident come practice. Like, a fair few other guys were a lot quicker than me through the practice, and I couldn't get the bottom to work for me. Like I could see James was wrapping the bottom heaps well, and I just couldn't make it work like that. I was running the rim, and that's sort of what worked for me. But yeah, I didn't expect the race to fall the way it did, sort of thing. Like even on firing off on that first green flag running, I just sort of did what I normally do and looked after it a little bit and had a bit of good fortune pretty well. Took tyres when that yellow fell. And then, just raced the race, so to speak. And then James came at the end. We had a good little battle. That was awesome. I was hoping to, race it out with him, of course, but we got together a bit, unfortunately, but that's just how it is sometimes. And then Ryan was there, and that second stint, I thought Ryan was actually on old rubber for a bit, and so I just sort of sat behind him for a bit and looked after my gear, and then he was like, I found out he was on the same strategy as me when I got past him, sort of thing. So I was like, oh gee, I'll see if I can gap him, and that. Yeah, just I don't know, just sort of all fell into place. What I wanted to do happened, and got through the pits in and out, not too bad. I think that's where I gained a bit on James.
Yeah, a lot of people struggling there in the pits. But let me ask this one question. What happened there between you and the 39? Do you have any recollection? How did it look from your perspective?
Well, I don't know. I think it was I'm guessing I haven't gone back and looked at it or anything yet, but I think it was a bit of a 50-50 because I was sort of, through 3 and 4, I could get a lane or two lower than off the fence. So I was trying to keep him a bit more pinned down. And I thought I'd given him plenty of room coming off the turn, but I think we just, as he come up, my rear end was still swaying a little bit coming off the corner, and we just nicked each other. Like, it might have been a bit net code. I don't know, to be honest, because I mean, it was sort of not even in my mirrors, sort of thing. I wasn't until the last second I saw his front end and just bopped, and I just caught it real quick and just kept the boot in. So, and that sort of unsettled his car and sent him infield. So yeah, it was unfortunate because it was coming down to be a good sort of three-way duel between himself, myself, and Ryan. So would have been pretty exciting if it come down to that last lap. But yeah, no, I mean, it was a good battle, and I was always worried about Ryan. I thought he was going to have something for me at the end, and just tried to race my own race and hold on to it, and it paid off. So really happy with that. Yeah.
Definitely, man. It looked awesome from up here. Congratulations to you guys once again, for getting it done 3 weeks in a row. Next week, we're headed to Rockingham. A little bit of a different track, bit of a different setup. Can we expect the same thing from the 83 crew, or are you guys going to come out here and go backwards and do something totally, unorthodox?
I don't know. Is it a repave or is it old Rocky? Do you know?
I don't think they've repaved it. I'm not sure about that. I don't want to answer. I have no clue.
Yeah. I mean, if it's old rock, I like that place. It's got a lot of bumps and whatnot and a lot of character. So I like running there, but I don't typically do too well there results-wise. So, but we'll see. We'll roll it off the truck next week and see what sort of laps we can pull in.
Kind of what you said last week. Starting to see a pattern here.
It is. I don't mind Kansas. Yeah, I love rim riding. If I can get the chance to hang the tail light on the fence and get a few sparks, and that's my jam sort of thing. I enjoy that sort of driving. So Kansas, I always have a lot of fun. So great racing tonight.
Yeah, definitely great racing. Who you shouting out here tonight for your win, your third win in a row, and your overall dominance on the point standings, man? I mean, it's more than you just making all that happen. Tell us who they are.
We should get a little gap. All right, well, number one, of course, is our primary sponsor. We've got TWRS on the car, and they've been a massive help to us, providing us probably the best sets on the service. They're unstoppable. We're just getting non-stop bullets out of that garage, so they've been a massive help to us. We've got Scotch Race Fuels, Cutsick Sticker Co, Moondog, and a couple of charities we like to support, Tourette Syndrome and Alopecia Foundation as well. And got to give a shout out to the league, Kobe, for all the work he puts in, Inside Lane, all the sponsors that help Kobe as well, like everything simulated, 131 Web, Inside Lane, TWRS again, they always put a lot into the league, and Scotch Race Fuels for chucking a little prize in there for us boys. So thanks to all those guys, and of course my team, SRM, all the boys. We're always giving us a good helping hand and always play a role. So it's good. It's good. Thanks, guys. And you, Big Al.
Right.
Thanks, mate.
Hey, man, thank you, man. Looking forward to talking to you week in, week out. Starting to become, it's what I do on Saturdays now. Well, we're like a thing here.
Looking forward to our chat, our coffee and cake.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Oh, good luck to you, dude. Godspeed. As I always say, don't party too hard, and we'll see you here next week.
Will do, buddy. Thanks, mate.
Hey, cheers. That was Matty Raymond, your overall winner here tonight and your points leader. And once again, I'll say it again 3 times. And, I'm saying this because, guys, we've got to get somebody in to stop this guy. There's got to be one amongst you. James, we got to close this thing up, man. Come on, help me out here, brother. Send us off.
It was a great race. A lot of pit strategy, a lot of hard racing, a lot of moves and battles for the lead. It's exactly what you always want to see from a race like this. So we put on an absolute show tonight, and hopefully we can continue that for next week.
We indeed will, man. Thank you, James, and thank you all of our sponsors. Want to give it out to Scotch Fuels 131. Give it out to Doogie, to Next Level, to TWRS, to Kobe, the producer of all of this. Next week we're going to be at the Rockingham. That's right, 1 week from tonight, Same time, same channel. This is Big Al. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you know somebody that could make this better, please send them our way. Until next week, be good, be great, and be gone.